Ever stop to think how much those little impulse buys on your phone are adding up to, and how many subscription payments are sneaking out of your bank account every single month? Before I started using Rocket Money, let me tell you, I had no idea. But the first time I logged in, I saved $435. I couldn't believe it. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps you find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. I just love the dashboard. It shows everything in one place, even the subscriptions you forgot you signed up for. And if there's something you don't need, Rocket Money helps you cancel it. Plus, it alerts you if a bill increases or if something unusual pops up in your account. It's basically like having a personal assistant for your money. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/Kim today. That's rocketmoney.com/Kim. rocketmoney.com/Kim. But wait, there's more. Here's hour 4 of the Kim Komando Show. But I never thought I would ever say this again. For the rest of my life, I never thought these words would come out of my mouth. Kodak is now selling actual 35 millimeter film. Can you believe that? Yes, remember those yellow rolls in every junk drawer? Well, it's the same stuff. Kodak's cutting out the middleman to bring the prices down, they say. It's a quiet comeback from a brand that basically shot every 1980s birthday party that you've ever been to. And speaking of, yes, you know what that means, bad joke time. 2 mice are chewing on a roll of film. One says, I think I liked the book better. Oh, yes. And on that happy note, I hope you're ready because today is all about tech. And I am here precisely to make sure that you have all the tech know-how you need to stay tech ahead. Because after all, I don't want you to be left in the digital dust because it's my job. As America's beloved digital goddess, of course, I'm Kim Komando. And I'm here with the biggest, the best, and most trusted tech show in the nation. You can catch my award-winning show on over 425 top radio stations across the country. And of course, we're streaming in your favorite radio app. Just search for Komando with a K, of course. And you can also get the podcast wherever you listen. And you can also get the podcast as a video podcast. Just go to youtube.com/Kim Komando. And a huge salute goes out to all of our heroes that are tuning in on the American Forces Network Radio. I just love this, reaching more than 375,000 U.S. service members in 175 countries across every single branch: Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, and the Space Force. I see you. And of course, I thank you. And the Commando hotline's open right now, too, at 1-888-825-5254. And if you want to join the show, ask a question, you can go ahead and give us a call or go to askkim@commando.com to grab your spot. Alrighty, then, every single day I dive into at least 35, 40 different places to make sure that I know exactly what's going ahead. So I'm going to now do the transference of intellect and know-how and fun from my brain to yours with the top 5 things you need to know. And we're going to start with the question I get asked so often now. What is the next big thing? Well, the answer is singularity. It could happen tomorrow. It could happen in 2030, 2050. Regardless, it is absolutely going to happen. And when it does, all of our lives, yes, and everybody on the planet Earth, 8 billion lives, are going to change. Now, what exactly is the singularity? Well, you have to have at least a surface knowledge of AI, and most people do. But what comes next is called AGI, Artificial General Intelligence. So singularity is the moment in time when a collection of AI networks will suddenly and spontaneously become aware of each other. They're going to learn on their own, they're going to reason, and they're going to adapt as human beings do. They're going to solve problems creatively and quickly. And tech is just going to be supercharged. So this AGI, though, is also going to be unpredictable. And that's the frightening part. And in case you're wondering, yes, that's what's coming next. Let's see. Let's move on. Old tech, early digital cameras, flip phones, even CDs are having a comeback moment. Why? Well, I'll tell you. Of course, the 20-somethings, they have somehow rediscovered tech devices as the generation before them abandoned them because they have smartphones that do everything. But they're like, maybe we don't want one device that does every single thing. So let's go back 20 years ago. CD players, mixtapes, flip phones. And those phones, they couldn't really do much more than make a call, right? I mean, maybe you could get it to send a text, but you'd sit there like for all those minutes and hours trying to figure out how to get letters from numbers. And entertainers like Taylor Swift, Sabrina Carpenter, they're now selling all kinds of physical media. So not only CDs and vinyl records, but tape cassettes too. So bottom line here, so if you run across any of this old tech, do not throw it out. A Gen Zer somewhere is ready to buy it. Moving on to number 3, let's talk about Elon Musk. If Elon Musk slides into your DMs about money, I want you to run. He is the richest man in the world. He built companies. Yes, Tesla. Yes, SpaceX. You know them. And so many people trust his name as being this really smart guy. And scammers know that too. So they are now using AI to clone him. And the deep fakes are so real that they're tricking people into losing hundreds of thousands of dollars. Gizmodo uncovered dozens of FTC complaints from people that were tricked by fake Elon Musk. Okay, here's a few of them. A woman in her 70s lost over $60,000 after responding to who she thought was Elon Musk. She later begged in all caps, "Oh, please, please. He's a billionaire. He can afford to give the money back to me." I don't think he's going to do that. Retired public defender with stage 4 cancer sent $10,000 to what he believed was Elon Musk's private investment group. You're not getting that back. A man in Florida lost $225,000 after watching what looked like a real SpaceX live stream, complete with a QR code promising to double his crypto. Oh my gosh. People, you have to be smarter than this. Please, you have to be. All right, let's talk about Meta. So you ask a chatbot, do I smell bad? How many calories did I really eat last night? Do you think I drink too much? Should I text my ex and say, I miss you? And then suddenly, ads are showing up the next day, showing from that same chatbot about deodorant, diet plans, rehab, dating coaching, you name it. Well, starting in December, when you speak with Meta's chatbot, text or voice, those conversations will help decide what ads and posts you see. So, like, for example, if you chat about hiking, you might see a hiking gear ad. Well, this change applies even if you use only one Meta app. But if all your accounts are linked, the info can affect everything that you see everywhere else. So, talking about Instagram, Facebook, the Meta glasses, you name it. Now, they say they're not going to use your AI chats about religion, your health, politics, or sexual orientation to target ads. Yeah, sure, I believe that. Finally, this coming in at number 5. Let's have a little fun and remember some phrases that we used to use every single day. Okay, think about this. Where's the nearest payphone? Ooh, wow. Where is the nearest payphone? There are generations of kids who have never, ever seen a payphone. How about the yellow pages? Or don't forget to rewind before you take that back to Blockbuster? That's a 2-for-1. Dial 411. My mom actually designed the 411 directory system for Bell Labs. And this one is a bit non-tech, but how about roll down the window? Or I'll fax that over to you. We're out of fax paper. All right, we don't have to set our VCRs anymore because everything that we want to see is streaming at least 1,000 times. Oh, how about the sound of the modem? You remember that one? It was like, ching, ching. Yeah, barf is right. Glad we don't have that anymore. All right, let me tell you, we've got so many great things to pass along, including a genius way for you to pause the internet. Just turn it off in the whole house. Yes, you can do that. And of course, we have the best callers ever, and you have me, Kim Commando. If you own a home, listen up. This is scary. The FBI is warning about a crime on the rise, home title theft. And it doesn't happen the way you might think. No break-ins, no stolen keys, just a forged signature on a single piece of paper filed with the county. In minutes, criminals can transfer the title out of your name, then use your ownership to drain your equity or even sell your home. The worst part, most people don't know what's happening until they get collection or foreclosure foreclosure notices in the mail. That's why I trust Home Title Lock. When you visit HometitleLock.com/Kim, you'll get a free title history report and a 14-day free trial of their $1 million triple lock protection, including 24/7 monitoring of your home's title, urgent alerts to changes, and if fraud does happen. Their U.S.-based restoration team will work to restore your title, covering costs up to $1 million. Don't wait. Protect your home and equity today. Get your free 14-day trial at HometitleLock.com/Kim. That's HometitleLock.com/Kim. It is thin. It's fast. It's just gorgeous. No, I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about the new iPhone Air at $999 value. No purchase required. I'm giving one away. Head to winfromkim.com. Once again, that's winfromkim.com. Let's see. Let's get started with Anthony in Boston, Massachusetts. Hello there, Anthony.
Hi, Kim. How are you?
I'm great. Great. All I see is you want to know if you're being scammed. Tell us what's going on.
Yeah. So I met this girl from Thailand online on one of those Tinder accounts, and so we started getting along, and we were chatting and everything. And she said, "Hey, how about we go over to a different app that's easier to use?" And it was called WhatsApp. Mm-hmm. And so, so she got me off the Tinder app and got me onto the WhatsApp, which I had never used before that point in time. And so it was pretty easy to chat. It was just like messaging, like iMessage, basically the same thing. And so, but anyway, so I got to know her a little bit, and then she suggested that I might want to try what she does all the time, is this investing in this short-term gold options, which is some sort of, I'm not sure how it works, actually. That's kind of why I'm confused. But anyways, you go on. I put, what I started out with, crypto coin. I had a couple $1,000s in crypto coin, and she said, well, put this into crypto on-chain. And she took me through it step by step. Every time I clicked on something, I would take a screenshot and send it to her. And so then she would say, well, okay, so then I'll click on this, and so on and so forth. We went through that, and I got all that done. And then there was an additional step, was to go into this another sort of application called CME, mm-hmm. which you had to prove that it was you and everything. You had to,
let me ask you some questions.
Yeah.
How much have you invested so far?
So I've only invested the original 2,000 that I put in, but she suggested recently that I should really up the amount because I was only making a small amount off that. She said the more you put into it, the more you're going to gain.
And so how much does she want?
She wants $60,000.
So she wants she's going to take you from 2,000 to 60,000.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm really glad that you called. Mm-hmm. Because you are getting scammed.
I thought so.
Okay. There's no doubt do you have any doubt, Andrew?
No, I mean, the minute he said WhatsApp, I knew he was getting scammed.
And
can I ask you a quick question? At any point, have you attempted to withdraw your 2,000?
Yeah, actually I did. I withdrew the 2,000 and I put it in my bank account, and that worked fine.
Okay.
And then, and then she said, well, put it back in, and we're going to try this again. And we did it again. So every time that I've done it with her, there's about 6 times I have made small amounts of money off of it.
Yeah, but are you getting the returns out or just your original 2,000?
Yeah, I got the returns as well. Put them in my bank, like I said. And then
what kind of returns did you get on the 2,000?
Oh, just I think it might have been $50.
Okay. See, here's what they're setting you up. Okay.
Yeah.
It's called pig butchering. And so what they do is they make everything look really good, really good, really good. And then they go for the greed. That's why they're going from $2,000 and they're going to $60,000 so that this way, because you trust them. I mean, you're wondering right now if you should give her the $60,000. And we're saying absolutely not. You need to disconnect this WhatsApp account. Don't get on Tinder. Don't leave Tinder and go to WhatsApp. Don't give anybody money. Everything, all these things that you're saying of you making money, the exception of the $50 that they're giving you. Because remember, they're setting you up for $60,000. Okay. It's all a simulation.
You're also not talking to a woman. You're most likely talking to either a chatbot or some dude sitting in a basement.
Exactly. And if you have any concerns, wondering if this woman from Thailand is going to be your new lover and you're going to head off into the sunset, ask her for a photo and then do a reverse image search over at Google Images or at PimEyes, either place. But you are most definitely getting scammed, Anthony. I'm sorry to tell you that. Wow, crazy stories. Sue in Tucson, Arizona, welcome aboard.
Hi, Kim. Well, I was reading your newsletter a few days ago, and I had just returned from a trip to Tucson, and at the airport, I have always heard not to plug your power cord into the USB port, just to protect your phone, and, you know, that there are things that are nefarious going on with those ports.
Yeah, the public charging,
and
the USB public charging stations. That's what we're talking about.
Yes. And but my question revolves around, when you get on the airplane, there's all these USB ports. Do they have the same type of problems that the land-based ports do?
What say you, Andrew?
Well,
I know the answer.
Lisa's two oldest, her girls, 16 and 14, just flew alone to Chicago. Mm-hmm. And I told them that. I said, when you're at the airport, do not charge your phone at the airport. Don't plug it in anywhere. Don't plug it in your USB cord into your phone. And then Brielle said, well, what about on the plane? And I went, yeah, go ahead. That's fine.
You know what? It is fine. Because the USB ports on the plane, they are safer because they're not connected to really an open internet. They just provide basic power. But so I wouldn't worry about those. But those USB charging stations in airports are definitely a no-go. Do not do that. And if you really always want to use it because you don't want to carry a power pack or anything, that's where you get it's a technical term for a device that you need to get. And I know, since we always talk about all things digital, I can pass along these technical terms.
Okay.
It's called a USB condom. Yes. Or otherwise known as a USB data blocker. So, but still, just carry your own power port bank. That's always the safest.
Yeah, if you got the little box thingy, you're fine.
All right. Google has mapped out, little fun fact for you, about 98% of the world. And you can see it all on Google Earth. Now, you might not use Google Earth very much, but let me tell you how you can. Let's say it's a trip to Paris that you've taken. You can drop a pin on Google Earth, add a picture that highlights your trip up the Eiffel Tower. You could then drop a pin at the Louvre and at that wonderful cafe with the French onion soup, yes, on the Champs-Élysées for the perfect lunch. Then in slideshow mode, the map will automatically jump to the next point, and then you can play it all like a movie. It really is a novel, cool way to look back at a vacation. Again, that's Google Earth, and then what you're going to do is just start dropping some pins. Let's see, coming up, we're going to talk about how you can use LinkedIn the right way, and then later on, the kids are online, and you're like, oh, make it stop. Well, let me tell you, there's an insider secret. You could just turn off the entire internet in a flash. I'll tell you about it here on the Kim Komando Show.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
Let's see. Tom in Fort Myers, Florida. All I see, Tom, is I need to make some money, honey. Is that true?
You got that, Kim.
Okay.
I love your show. Listen every time I get a chance. Appreciate it. Thanks for taking my call.
You betcha. So what's going on?
Well, I'm retired, and things are just getting a little tight, and I would like to make some more money. I see all of this stuff going on the internet, but you see these ads and it's like partnership marketing and Amazon reseller and Kindle publishing. And I'm afraid to click on those.
Good, don't.
It's like, yeah. So is there really some legitimate ways for an old guy sitting?
Well, first of all, I'm not letting you call yourself an old guy, because we're moving past that, okay? Because then all of a sudden we got this thing like, well, I can't do that because I'm an old guy. I can't do that because I'm an old guy. Remember, old guys rule. You're right. Okay.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay,
so I can do anything.
Right. Exactly. Okay. So, what did you do before you were retired? Give Andrew and I some clues.
I've got an engineering degree from back in the 70s, and I worked as a mechanical engineer for about 10 years. Then I got in the real estate business, sold real estate for 10, and then I spent 35 years doing mortgage origination.
Exactly. You know a lot about mortgages and real estate and things like that, okay?
Finance, yeah.
So what you could do is you can get on your favorite little AI chatbot, and you could write an ebook about 10 mistakes people make when they are buying their first house, right? You know that.
Yeah.
What would give me one mistake? Give me one.
To go to a bank instead of a mortgage broker.
Okay. All right.
Cost them a fortune.
Okay, so you know all this at the top of your head. So see, my point being is that instead of going and saying, well, I can resell Amazon stuff, don't even do that. I can do search engine optimization, I can 30x my money with crypto, okay.
What about taking online surveys? He can become a bazillionaire.
You make $5 a month at that.
Oh, wait a minute. Sorry.
Okay. So what you do is you write an ebook, you put it up on Amazon, Kindle. It doesn't cost you a dime. And especially now, and then you use the Kindle publishing system. You want to price it at $2.99, $4.99. Maybe even make it $0. And you're like, well, how do I make money at that? You give it away for free. It climbs on the Amazon charts, and then everybody writes reviews about what a great book it is. And then you say, okay, I'll charge $4.99 for it.
Realistically, how much could he make with that?
I told a family member to do this, and I don't want to talk about who it is, but they wrote a book about photography.
Okay.
And he was telling me not too long ago, he was making like $20,000 a year.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, that's better than any part-time job.
Yeah. So I mean, he just sits up there, and then it just keeps going on and on and on. And and then there are also places like, Upwork, maybe that you can get a consulting gig, Tom, and freelancer. Maybe somebody needs a mortgage professional to look and analyze documents on the side. And what I want you to do is I want you to stay in your lane. And that lane is mortgages and real estate. And so take a look around and then call me back and tell me what you found, and then we'll take it to the next step. This just reminds me of an old joke. You ready for it? It starts like this. I asked God for money, and then I later found out that God does not work that way. So I robbed a bank, and then I asked for forgiveness. Yeah, I know. That was a bad one, but you laughed anyway. I heard you. All right, everybody's on LinkedIn. Let's just face it. But here are some things that you might not know. Posts on LinkedIn reach 5 to 10% of your audience organically. That's more than double of what you get on Instagram or Facebook. But if you drop a link in your post, this is bad, the algorithm will punish you. Why? Because that link will send people off the site. So instead, you want to post your content without the link, and then you put the link in the first comment. That move alone will double or triple your reach. Also, skip the buzzwords and the mumbo jumbo and the corporate speak. No one cares that you're a results-oriented leader with a passion for synergy. No, nobody cares. And they also know it's probably written by AI. Another tip, post 2 to 3 times a week, and the days of the week are Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday work out the best. Alrighty then, still to come, we've got some more great calls that you don't want to miss, as well as later on how you can pause the internet on everybody in the house in a snap here on the Kim Komando Show.
Running a business comes with a lot of what-ifs, but luckily there's a simple answer to them. Shopify. It's the commerce platform behind millions of businesses, including Thrive Cosmetics and Momofuku, and it'll help you with everything you need. From website design and marketing to boosting sales and expanding operations, Shopify can get the job done and make your dream a reality. Turn those what-ifs into... Sign up for your $1 per month trial at shopify.com/special offer.
Hey, listen, I just want to talk for you just a second about our podcast, and then we'll go back to all your calls. We got plenty of time for that. You know, the Kim Komando Show is available as a podcast, and I need a favor from you. Is that for some reason, we have all kinds of great reviews at Trustpilot and at Google Reviews, and we have great reviews on our other podcasts, the Digital Life Hack and the Daily Tech Update. But we don't have a lot of reviews for the Kim Komando Show on the popular podcast platforms. So here's what I need you to do. If you learn just one thing from me over the years, just one thing that made a difference, wherever you get your podcast, search for The Kim Komando Show and then leave a great 5-star review. That's it. 5 stars, some kind words, and that will really help me out. And that will make a difference on the number of people who actually see and get our podcast. It does. It's kind of like gaming the algorithm a little bit. So again, wherever you get your podcast, just search for Kim Komando Show. You want the show, and leave a great 5-star review. Let's see. Oh, Kim, what a wonderful name. Kim in Eugene, Oregon. Hi there. What a fabulous name. You must be an amazing person, a beautiful individual.
Oh, absolutely. All Kims are.
See, that's what happens.
Yeah.
So what's on your mind?
So I get your daily current newsletter, which I read faithfully every day, and I get so much information. And I was reading a very recent one where you were writing about how to use an AI for maybe prompts for writing an ebook.
Sure.
And so I had started using your tips, and I'm like, this is awesome. And I thought I could write a book, but my next step was, how do you publish that, or how do you go about finding the best place to put the information out there?
So what's your book about?
I'm a physical therapist, so it's about, tips for a healthy back, or myth-busting things that you might not realize are true.
Here, give us one myth. Give us one myth.
That once you hurt your back, you should rest in bed for a week. That's not true.
Oh,
2 weeks. Yeah.
See, Andrew told me that. Okay. It's funny you should say that. Andrew came to me and he said, listen, I was lifting some boxes and my back hurts and I need to have at least 2 weeks off. So.
Myth busted.
Oh, Kim, come on.
You know what? You can read it in my ebook. If I can just get it published.
Use promo code in order to get a discount. Okay, so you got a couple of places to sell ebooks. Of course, there's Kindle. Okay, that's the biggest place. Right. It's huge, and you are just going to tap into the biggest audience out there. And there are some strategies. When you release the ebook, you always want it under $10. Some people actually release the ebook for free. So this way it goes to the top of the Kindle list, and then you get all these great reviews, and then you put the price up to $4.99, $5.99, that whole thing. Amazon is not generous. I don't know if you would realize that. Did you ever think about Amazon being generous? No.
No, and that's why I was looking for other options.
They take anywhere up to 65% of the royalties.
What?
Yes.
That's way too much.
30 to 65%. Top end is 65%. There's another website called Gumroad. Gumroad. Every time I talk about this, it's like, what do you think? Like, people are sitting around in a marketing meeting saying, what should we call this?
We can't call it Candy Lane. Maybe something else.
Gumroad. That's going to bring them in. It's 10% that they take.
But what's the traffic like there?
That's the problem.
Yeah.
It's up to you to get the traffic and over to Gumroad. Then there's also PayHip. And then something I would never suggest is that you sell it on your own website.
No, I'm not doing that.
No, you don't want to do that. So you can put it up on Amazon and you can put it up on Gumroad. Okay. I mean, it's, I put it in both places. You might as well.
Yeah.
The other thing that you might want to think about, since you like the current newsletter, and I mean, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you really love the current?
Me?
Yes.
9.
How come not a 10?
Wow. Because sometimes there's stuff I already know.
Ouch. Oh. You hurt my heart.
A 9.
Not always.
A 9.
Not even
I
a
do-
9.5.
I do read it every day, and
Okay.
I've referred friends.
Can we just make sure we never take this woman's call again? just want to say, here I am. I thought we were bonding.
You're not
With
going to
the
write a
same
book
woman.
on how to suck up to people, important people, because that was a misstep, Kim.
This is
Wait
some.
a minute. For me or for her? Who are you? Which
Oh, she puts it in even harder. Puts that knife in again. Puts it in again. Listen, I'm not even going to tell you how to write your own newsletter. I was going to tell you about how you could write your own newsletter, get paid for some ads on Substack.
You would have gotten that information if the show was a 10, but it's not. It's a 9. You don't get everything.
Oh, man.
Ouch.
But she said some of the stuff she knew.
Yeah.
So, but a 9 out of 10, that's pretty good.
That's better than an 8.
Okay, Trustpilot just saying it's a 5 out of 5. Okay.
Which is equivalent to a 10.
Okay. And at Google, it's a 5 out of 5 with like thousands of reviews.
Big mistake, Kim.
All right, let's see. We still have time for another call. Todd in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Hi there, Todd. Welcome. I don't know what this means, Todd, but all we see is laser pecker terms of use.
Excuse me.
Well, Kim, that is exactly what it is. I've been looking. This is a laser engraving device that I have bought. This thing. It is indeed called a Laser Pecker 2.
Not 1, 2.
There's I guess it's the second version of it, but there's also a 3, 4, and 5. So this is an entry level.
I'd be a 5.
Laser engraving device, and it's around $1,000.
I like the way, Todd, I like the way you just keep talking like
Bulldozing right
I
through.
love that. So you were reading the terms and conditions?
Oh
Is that
my
what it is?
gosh! So yeah, I was reading the terms of the user agreement and all, and this thing is supposed to work with an iPhone or another smart device, and you have to download their app, and it communicates with Bluetooth, but in reading the contract, my goodness, it started sounding like the contract with Willy Wonka with the print that gets smaller and smaller and smaller. And I start getting really concerned about it because it says all my information is going to be used on their server and they've got control. And that just isn't cool with me. And, and so I immediately thought of you, being the technical guru yourself, and man, what can I do here to make this thing work? I'm just scared to download the actual app now because of all these things that it states.
Well, do you need the app to actually use the device?
Yes, you do. But golly, they're going to get my firstborn and all kinds of stuff. It sounds
because
like,
they're going to make a lot of money off of that. They're going to make money off the data.
First of all, can I say I don't like Todd? Because he went and read the terms and conditions. None of us are supposed to read them so that we all can keep going through life being blind to all the things they're taking from us. Now you're terrifying me, Todd.
Well, it is interesting to look at them. I don't read the terms and conditions. There's actually a website. It's called tosdr.org. tosdr.org. And basically what it does is it'll read all the terms and conditions for you. Be interesting for you to plug that in there, Todd. It gives a rating from A to E based on transparency, data usage, what they're going to be selling, and then it highlights the good clauses, the bad clauses, and it kind of gives you an idea. But you're kind of caught between a rock and a hard place because you bought this laser engraver, but you need to use the app in order to use the laser engraver.
What if he got a dummy device?
That's the recommendation.
Go on Facebook.
Yes.
Buy an old device. Put in a fake email, username that doesn't connect back to you.
Exactly. And just use an old phone that you have laying around, or just go buy a cheapo phone.
That's the smartest thing I've ever heard.
Thanks.
So then it wouldn't attach to any of my personal records.
Correct.
Exactly.
As long as that old phone is wiped clean.
Yes.
Then we should be good.
And then you get the opportunity of making your own identity. Like you could be Luke Steele or Buck Rogers.
That would be
great
funny.
name.
That'd be funny to do all that.
That
Yes.
would be.
Yeah, you should try that out. That would be great. And then I wonder what type of algorithm that it would be if you were like Luke Skywalker,
Right.
Something like that.
But they're not going to take any of your real identity at all.
So once again, the site is Terms of Service Didn't Read. Okay, that's what it stands for. TOSDR.org. Okay, so the kids are driving you crazy, and you're like, if you don't knock it off, get off your computer, your phone, your game, whatever it is. I need you to get off. And they're like, no, mommy, just like 5 more minutes. Daddy, I need 10 more minutes. Okay, I have a genius way that you can just nip that right in the bud. I'm going to tell you all about it when we come right back here on the Kim Komando Show. Yes, you can be the tech boss of your house. Okay, well, maybe you already are, but you didn't know it. Here's the power move. You can pause the internet by device. Now, if you have a modern Wi-Fi router like Eero, Google Nest, TP-Link, or Xfinity, just open the app and you'll see every device connected to your network. The kid's iPad, the Xbox, phones, you name it. Tap 1, hit pause internet, and boom, that's it. No more TikTok, no YouTube, no more. Just 5 minutes, please. You can even create a schedule like no Wi-Fi after 9 p.m. Or hit pause in real time when it's time for dinner or homework or when you just want peace and quiet. And of course, as you might expect, you can unpause it with one tap too. Hey, just a quick reminder, if you ever want to be a guest here on the show and speak with me one-on-one, super easy to do. You don't have to sit on hold for hours like other folks. Come on. We can do much better than that. Head over to Komando.com. That's Komando, Komando.com. And in the top right-hand corner, there's a link that says Ask Kim. Alrighty then, if you haven't already, make sure that you enter to win that brand new iPhone Air, a $999 value. Head to winfromkim.com. And that's the end of hour 4. But I'm sure in your podcast player, there are some shows that you haven't listened to. Come on. Just fire up your podcast player and get more tech know-how, whether you're walking or on your commute or whatever you might be doing.